So in the previous video, we learned how to use loops, or we saw the basic structure of a loop, that is do loop and do while loop. Now in this video, we are going to use loops to calculate factorial of a number. And I hope you all are familiar with how to calculate factorial of a number. That is, in factorial, the formula for factorial of any number can be written like this. So this is the formula for n factorial, that is, you have to multiply all the numbers from n to 1, or say 1 to n. Say for example, 5 factorial is you have to multiply all the numbers from 5 to 1, and the result is 120. So to code it in Fortran, you have to run a loop from 1 to n, and you have to multiply all the numbers in the loop, inside the loop. So consider this example, say factorial of 5. Then you have to run a variable, say I, inside the do loop, and I should run from 1 to 5. Now consider another variable, say fact will store the product in each step. That is, in the first step, in step 1, when I is 1, then fact is 1. In the second step, when I is 2, then fact is 1 times 2. That is, you have to multiply the number with the previous one. Similarly, in step 3, when I is 3, the fact is 1 times 2 times 3, and it will go like this. So this is how we are going to code it in Fortran. This is the logic behind this calculation. Now in general, one can write it like this, say fact is equal to fact times I. So this is the general formula to calculate factorial of any number. Okay, now there is a catch, that is, you have to assign an initial value or a reference value for the fact, because if you put I equal to 1 in this formula, then in the first step fact is equal to fact times 1, and it doesn't mean anything. So you have to assign an initial value for the fact, then it will mean something. Now the conventional way, or the natural choice to choose this initial value is the identity element, and this idea comes from the group theory. So under multiplication, the identity element is 1, and under addition, the identity element is 0. So as we are multiplying numbers, so we are going to set the initial value for fact is equal to 1. So let's write a code in Fortran to calculate a factorial of the number. So for this, we need to define 3 integer variables. So write integer, okay, and then we need one variable to run the loop, that is I, one variable to read the number of which we want to calculate the factorial, and at last fact in which we are going to store the multiplication in each step, or in each iteration of the loop. Now just print, say enter, sorry, it should be in quotation, enter the number. Okay, now we have to read the number, read n. Now we have to construct the loop, this do loop. So I must run from 1 to n, then just write fact is equal to fact times I. Okay, but we need to define the initial value of fact, so just define fact equals to 1. Now let's print the factorial in each step. Okay, so just print, say just let's just print I and fact both. So now let's try to run and build and run it. So just put 5. Okay, so factorial of 1 is 1 and 2 is 2. It actually prints factorial of each number in each step. Okay, so that is why I wrote this print command within the loop. Let's see what will happen if I assign if I enter the number to be 15. So as you can predict, the last few numbers, that is the last few results, are not accurate. So because you can say from 13 it is not actually the number it is not actually the result we want. So it is not the factorial of 13. You can check using some other softwares, or you can calculate by hand using calculators. So what is happening here? So actually there is no error in the program, but there is a issue with the memory allocation. So what is actually happening here is that to store a value, each variable use some bytes. Now by default an integer variable takes 2 bytes or 4 bytes or 8 bytes of memory space to store a variable, and by default in our case it is 4 byte. So now there is a upper limit in each case, that is if you are using 4 byte. So okay, let me show you the Wikipedia page. So in Google just write integer in computer science. Now go to Wikipedia page. So here you will find a table that lists the bits, that is one, say 8 bits represent 1 byte. So 1 byte can store say numbers from 0 to 255. Like here is 16, so 2 byte, and 32, that is 4 byte, can store these values. So when it actually crosses this value, it starts producing random numbers, so which we cannot predict. So this is happening here. So how to overcome this? So for this we are going to use kind attribute. So you have to write it. So first check where the kind is equals to 4, that is we are using 4 byte integer. So let's try to build and run it. Now enter 15 and you will get the same answer. Okay, so as you can see from at 13 and the answer is 1932 and this. Now okay, sorry, now let's change the kind, say make it 8. Then let's try to run the program. Okay, now let's, so as you can see now the answer is accurate. So it gives the value up to 15. Maybe it will break if we put 21. Yes, it gives the value up to 20, then it breaks, it generates a negative number or a random number. So this is how it works, this kind operation. Now if you make it kind 2, so just put 2, sorry, just put say 10, then as you can see it breaks after this number 7. So it can print the accurate value after this. So to deal with higher order numbers, you have to increase this value of kind. So and you can maximally increase this value up to 16. So that is 128 bit. So this is how this kind attribute works. So see you in the next video, and in the next video we will see how to construct a loop without using any loop comment.